Good morning, guys. Before I jump into the goods of this Things 3 tour, I'm just getting ready for the day, putting on some moisturizer with my favorite vitamin E moisturizer from the Body Shop with SPF 30, and then I am going to brush my teeth really quick before I go downstairs, make a nice AeroPress cup of coffee, and then get on with the day, do my morning routine, and then jump into my Things 3 tour. Now I'm headed to the kitchen to make my morning cup of coffee. I'm currently out of ground coffee, so I'll need to take out my coffee grinder and make some freshly ground coffee. It was my birthday last week and my boyfriend gifted me these coffee beans from the north of Thailand, so I'm really excited to give it a try and see how it tastes. I currently need to grind coffee. I use an automatic coffee grinder. The coffee grinder brand that I use is made by a company called Easy Etzel, which I just ordered on Lazada, which essentially is like the Amazon of Southeast Asia. Now that I have ground coffee, I like to store it in this jar just because I think it's nice to look at and it's easily accessible during the week, so I don't have to constantly grind coffee in the morning. And now that the coffee is ready, I then will need to take out my AeroPress and get it ready to make a nice fresh cup of brewed coffee. Along with the coffee beans, my boyfriend also gifted me this AeroPress last week for my birthday, so it's been a major upgrade from the instant pot coffee that I've been using, which you can kind of see in the video, kind of by the fridge next to the stove, but it's been a total game changer. And I know that sounds super cliche going from an instant pot to an AeroPress, but I genuinely think it makes a difference. I feel like the coffee is filtered. Well, there is a paper filter, so I feel like it does make a difference, and I don't know, it just tastes really good. Now I'm headed into the fridge to grab some lactose-free milk, which I then pour into a separate mug so then I can easily put it into the microwave, and then after it's done in the microwave, I will froth it, which allows me to create a really nice at-home latte. So now that I have boiled water in the kettle, I will then pour a bit of water into the AeroPress just halfway so that the coffee does some like oxidation thing, I think. I don't know what it's called, but you know, something along those lines to get the coffee absorbed in the hot water. And then after 30 seconds, you will then need to pour more water into the AeroPress all the way to the top to kind of let the AeroPress do its thing and extract all the caffeine from the coffee. You keep this here for about a minute and a half, and then you put a filter in the top of the AeroPress. Now I just took the milk out of the microwave and it's nice and warm, and now I am using my handheld frother to froth the milk. I genuinely love frothed milk in coffee because it allows me to make an at-home latte, and I swear it's just as good as you get in a coffee shop. So now the AeroPress coffee is just about ready, so now I'm twisting the cap on. I use the inverted AeroPress method, which essentially means you put the mug upside down and then you flip the AeroPress so that it's right side up, and then slowly you start to push the AeroPress down and extract the liquid out of the AeroPress. Usually this takes about 30 seconds and you get a really nice smooth coffee. Also really quick, I know this video makes me sound like a really snooty coffee connoisseur, but I promise I'm not. I just got this AeroPress last week, so I'm super excited to be using it, and it makes really nice coffee. It's very smooth, very clean, and it tastes really nice. Now I will grab my froth milk and pour it into the mug, and now I have my at-home latte. Now I'm headed into my living room for a little bit of my morning routine. I like to make myself a cup of coffee, do a bit of reading on my iPad just so I can kind of get into the groove of the day slowly and kind of enjoy my morning. I used to never have a morning routine, but I feel like reading and meditating and moving my body in the morning has become such a priority for me because I feel like it just makes me feel so much more calm, so much more balanced as I go through the day. So reading a little bit in the morning is so important, and if you don't do it, if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend doing so because I feel like it's made a total difference in my life. I feel, again, so much more balanced. And then after reading, I then like to close my eyes for a little bit of meditation, silence and gratitude practice. I like to do this in the morning because it allows me to let go of anything that happened the day prior, but also go into the day feeling really nice, thankful, and abundant. I also like to stretch out any kinks I have in my neck because I feel like sometimes I wake up in the morning and my neck just feels like someone just sawed my neck overnight. But I honestly think the few minutes you give yourself in the morning really just projects the rest of the day, and I'm really loving this time that I'm giving myself in the morning before I get to work. Now, finally, what you've been waiting for, I'm headed to my desk to go into things 3 and plan the rest of my week. I always do this on Sundays because I feel like it's kind of a way for me to plan the week before it gets really hectic and crazy. So my things 3 workflow pretty much always starts on Sunday. I like to use Sundays as, a day of planning just because I feel like, it's the beginning of the week, and even though Sunday is a day off for most people, I like to use it just to get a head start into the week. It's usually really quiet on Sundays, so I feel like I kind of can gather my headspace and really map out what I need to do during the week. So in terms of things 3, my planning always starts on Sunday. So typically what I'll do is, since I have things 3 also on my iPhone as well as my laptop, I will basically tell Siri to, remind me of certain things, and then it will automatically go into my things 3 inbox because that's kind of how I set it up as. So I'll just go ahead and, tell Siri these different things of what I need to do during the week, import them into my inbox, and then I'll go into my laptop, organize everything that I need to do during the week, tag things, and show you the ins and outs of my things 3 organization for the most productivity. Hey Siri, remind me to send an invoice to Jake.
Okay, added to reminders.
Hey Siri, remind me to check the email sequence for Sophie's funnel.
Okay, added to reminders.
So now that I've gone through and pretty much told Siri everything that I need to do during the week, I now have this list of things that I need to do in my reminders from talking to Siri and telling her what I need to do throughout the week as well. If things come up, I'll always just say, hey Siri, and she'll usually answer with like, what do you need? I always tell her to remind me things as they come up because I feel like that's the purpose of things 3, is to kind of get the thought out of your head so you can still focus on the task you're doing, but get the next thing you need to do in the future out of your head. So that's what I do. I use Siri to my advantage to really organize my inbox. So from there, you can just click import all, and then they'll all go into my things 3 inbox. So then I actually go into things 3 on my laptop and then organize everything that I need to do directly on my laptop. I like the interface better. So usually my Sunday planning day for things 3 is done on my laptop with the help of Siri, obviously throughout the week prior, during the week that I'm actually working, and obviously the Sunday before the week starts. So first I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Finder and open up things 3. Now it automatically goes to your today to-do list, but because obviously today is Sunday, I am gonna just brain dump everything I need to do into my inbox. So obviously this is everything that I've told Siri. There will be typos obviously because Siri is Siri and is a robot and not a real person. So what we'll do now is just edit these, add a few more things that I know are gonna come up during the week. From there, we'll organize them and distribute them into their different areas and categories so then we know exactly what we're going to do day by day during the week. Now, before I actually categorize these different things that I have to do, I'm going to show you all the different areas that I have in my things 3. So my Skillshare area is basically Skillshare courses that I'm going to create. I'm in the process of creating at the moment. I have scripts written for them, and any task that would fall under my Skillshare course that I'm planning to create would fall under this area. And then within that area, I then have more specific projects and more specific to-do lists within those areas. So now going on to the freelance area, obviously I'm working with a variety of different clients at the moment. So I create their own project using this button right here, where I create a project for the specific client, and then any task related to that client, I then will add it to their area. Obviously I won't go into any of these for privacy reasons, but this is kind of how I keep that area organized. Moving on to YouTube, so obviously there are a number of tasks that I need to do for YouTube. And so I have different things. Some are keyword research, some is filming, some is YouTube editing, and some is YouTube publishing. So keyword research would basically be using vidIQ to research any keyword ideas or video ideas before I film. And then once I've done that, I then go to film for YouTube. And this is basically a number of different videos that I have to record in my repertoire. This is obviously just a brain dump of content, and maybe some of these I won't ever record, but this is just kind of to have some ideas in my handbook, just so if I'm feeling uninspired, there's a list of things that I can record. So the next thing I have is YouTube editing. Obviously, if I have to edit videos, this is where that task would go. And then YouTube publishing, so anything from writing the description to creating the thumbnail, that would fall under YouTube publishing, so then I can keep organized of everything that I need to do. The next area I have is my errands, and I put a little scooter here because I refer to errands as anything outside of the house. So anything from things I need to pick up at the store, things I need to buy. I've scheduled these a long time ago. Basically, if I have something to do, I'll schedule it so that when this day comes, August 30th comes, or September 10th comes, I will then be notified to do these things then. And then obviously I categorize someday as get my Thai driving license, even though I have a scooter and motorbike in Thailand and I'm living in Thailand. I don't actually have a Thai driver's license. I do have an American driver's license though, so don't worry. And then the next thing I have is home. So home is basically any chores that I have to do within the house. I like to keep errands and home separate. I used to have these as one category, but it kind of made my brain a little confused. So home is basically anything that I have to do within the house. These are repeating reminders. So every beginning of the month, I have to pay the water bill. Every Monday, I have to leave money out for water because on Tuesday mornings we get water delivered to our house. And every 3 to 4 weeks or so, I have a reminder also to book a house cleaner. This is a task that I need to do but isn't urgent, so I put this in a someday category under home, so that if I do have some free time one day, I can then just go ahead and put these sliders by the coffee machine. The next thing is purchases. So these are things that I either need, or clothes I need to buy, or a wish list of items. So some clothes that I feel like come up is silk robe, a pajama set, and underwear, real life stuff that you need. And then I also have a wish list of items. So I want to get a new hydro flask, and that would go here. And then essentials. This is sometimes where I put, very specific things that we need, and then I categorize them under purchases, under essentials. I won't put my shopping list on here because I feel like it gets a bit too messy. But yeah, basically essentials that I know I need, and then just need to book it into my calendar, so then I'm reminded that I need to order something online. The next area is health, and so these are different things that I need to do for my health. So schedule a teeth cleaning, schedule a gyno appointment, and then find out how to get the vaccine in Thailand. Obviously, I'm living in Thailand right now, so getting the vaccine is not as easy as it is in America, so I need to find out a way to get the vaccine in Thailand as a foreigner. The next thing is life admin, and this is where any reminder I need just to kind of organize my life a bit more. So one of the things is on my notes app, it's a mess. It's basically where I brain dump everything that's in my brain, but there's no organization structure to it. So one day when I have some free time, I want to go into my notes app on my laptop and pretty much clean out the entire thing, delete notes I don't need, folder notes that I feel like are in a specific category that I need to keep track of. I feel like my notes section on my phone, I don't even know what's on there, and it's just like this endless thing that if I need to find something, it's hard or it's not organized, there's no structure to it. So one of these days I do want to organize my notes on my laptop. The next thing is finance, and so this is something that I need to do often for my business, is distribute my business income to profit first buckets. So what that means is I read this book called Profit First. Basically, as a business, whenever I get paid at the end of the month, I want to distribute profit into certain buckets. So I have a profit bucket, a tax bucket, a savings bucket, and then a paying myself bucket. That kind of helps me organize the money as it comes into the business, because I feel like at the beginning of owning my business, I feel like my money was just going in and right out, and I was just like, where is everything going? So having multiple accounts for my business and distributing money as it comes in to pay those different things, such as myself, tax, operating expenses, etc. This helps me organize that. And then obviously I know at least once or twice a month I need to organize my books in Xero, which is always super important. The next area I have is business development, and so this is anything that I need to do in terms of my own business. So updating my portfolio on Squarespace as a designer, this is really important. And then finish Own Your Future challenge. So this is a 5-day challenge that Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and Jenna Kutcher and a bunch of really big names created. They did a free 5-day challenge, and I watched the first 2 days of it, and I haven't finished day 3, day 4, day 5, but I feel like this is something that I would like to do just to expand my business knowledge. I feel like there was a lot of really good content in terms of mindset, in terms of creating a brand, all of these different things. So this is something that I definitely want to do, but it's not urgent, so it is under the someday category. The next thing is to replicate the tools page on my agency website onto my personal website. So this is just affiliate links and tools that I recommend as a freelancer, as a business owner, where I feel like I wouldn't be able to function without these tools. So I want to recreate that page that's on my agency website and put it also on my personal website, so that it's kind of in 2 places at once. The next thing is MV Media, and so this is my agency, and any project ideas or things that I have to do underneath my agency would go here. Any project or ideas or to-dos that I have to do for my agency, I do here. The next thing I have is a reference, and this is basically anything that would come up for me, and so any TV shows that I feel like someone referred to me, I'd write it here. Recipes, so I have a few recipes that I have here with links to those specific recipes, so that's a really good thing. And then I have movies and books. Anything that is a recommendation but doesn't fall under a category, I keep here, because I feel like it's important to keep reference of these different things so that I know what's going in and what's going out. So those are my different areas, and now that I've showed you all of my different areas, I want to show you how I organize it based on this structure. So going back to my inbox, these are all a number of things that I need to do. So I'll organize these, and then as they come up for the day, I'll then organize them by going into today and also showing you my upcoming calendar. So these are 2 things that I need to do for my client Sophie. So then I'll just tag it as Sophie, and then I will then schedule it. This course isn't going out until October, so it isn't pressing, so I'm gonna go ahead and schedule it for Friday. The next thing is to follow up with one of my other clients, Shaz. When you're working with a lot of clients, it's really easy to, kind of cut off communications, not on purpose, but on accident, because things come up. So this is something that I need to do, follow up with one of my clients that I haven't heard from in a while, and I will schedule to do that on Monday. I then also need to send out an invoice, so I'll tag that as the client that I'm working with, and then also schedule that for Monday. This is another thing that I have to do for Sophie, so I'm going to schedule that on Tuesday, and then also tag it as Sophie. The next thing is finalizing icons for Pete's website and go through Elementor icon pack. So these are things that I'm working on for my boyfriend's website, and actually I'm going to be doing those today, actually this evening. So I'm going to just schedule those as this evening and then also move it to his specific category. The next thing is all YouTube stuff. This would essentially fall under YouTube filming. So I would go ahead and go to my YouTube tab and click film for YouTube, and then this would be under YouTube editing, so I'll go ahead and move that to YouTube editing. So I'm going to schedule editing this video for Tuesday. This isn't really pressing, obviously, because I post on the weekends. And then this is something that I'm doing now, so I will schedule that for today. So now going into my today to-do list, you'll kind of start seeing my structure organized in my today to-do list. Obviously, I already have stuff in my to-do list that you didn't see me schedule. These are things that may have carried over from last week or things that are repeating reminders. So checking the MV Zoho inbox is something that I have to do for one of my clients. And so this is a recurring reminder every 3 or 4 days just to keep me up to date with the inbox. That is something that I can schedule for this evening. And then this is something that I'm doing now, so I feel like I can just check that off. And then I am working on my boyfriend's website today, so this is going to be something that we're going to do this evening together. And so that's basically everything we're going to be doing this evening. Today is a Sunday, so these are things that's carried over from last week. So I'm just going to move this back into Monday so that I can start the week doing what I had to do last week. And then this is a repeat of the thing above. This is kind of what I would do in my today. Today is a Sunday, so that I feel like there's not, really substantial amounts of to-do lists to do. This looks like a lot, but really it's not that much in terms of what we need to do for the website. A lot of it is already done. It's just final tweaks and little reminders of what we need to do. And then as you go into my upcoming, you'll actually start to see my schedule forming. I'll have different to-dos tagged within their specific areas so that I can really stay on top of things. Wednesdays and Thursdays are pretty much, open for things that come up during the week. Obviously on Sundays, I like to plan the big things, but then, there might be little tasks or little specific things that I might need to do more specifically during the weekday. But that's basically how I organize my week. And then if I go into anytime, these are all things that don't have deadlines. If I have some free time, I can do these anytime, and I'll find it here. So anything that I've tagged as someday will come up in this area, which is really easy to find as well. My logbook is basically all the to-dos that I've already done, and there's a number of different things that I've done already. So that's basically how I schedule my inbox in Things 3 using a getting things done methodology, just so that I actually have a structure for my days and know exactly what I need to work on. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!